Another one off the board.
How about this?
I thought they had a shot at this guy.
They're breaking Zoe.
Yeah.
Well, this is a big commitment. A guy with 25 catches last year.
Yeah, 25 catches and a bad knee that required a clean out because it had an infection. He had a leaky knee is what he had.
Brady had an infection in his knee.
Well, think about that. That's dangerous, right? That's
very dangerous.
Very dangerous. Yep. And he's apparently healed from that. He's good to go. He's going to be able to play.
No, they got a cleany leg.
Yeah, cleany leg. They did. They got in there and they cleany leg for him.
If it smelled. Open it up.
25 catch. He didn't have that many the year before. What do you have the year before, McGone? Do you have that?
I'll look it up.
It's like 40.
He's had back-to-back not so great years. He went for 2 years and $13 million. Brandin Cooks we're talking about. 2 years, $13 million.
It's Dallas and Houston, right? Last two.
To the Saints. He reunites with the team that drafted him, the team that had once upon a time traded him to the New England Patriots. And he gets 2 years, $13 million. He is a name you brought up many times, and you told us right before the break that it was too expensive for the Pats. Too much money.
That's what I would assume. Because, I mean, when we were talking about it, you were like, you picked this guy up for $2 million. You know, you thought the money was going to be low. But
Who said $2 million?
I thought you did.
No.
When I brought up Brandin Cooks here about 2 weeks ago. You said, you could get that guy easy. And I said,
you could get him easy. 2 and 13 is a steal for a player right now. $6.5 million a year. That's what they were paying. What's his face last year?
Yeah, Bourne.
No. KJ Osborne.
What did he say? $5 million?
$4.5, I think.
Yeah.
It was.
All right, yeah, same department.
Yep.
He's on a KJ Osborne deal. Doesn't cost you anything.
I'd say he's better than Osborne.
His receptions by year since 2021, 90, 57, 54, 26.
Still anything better than you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a problem, like right there. Everybody can sit here and look at the production and say it's been down for him. Still, you take that lower production towards the later end of his career here, and it's better than anything you have. And that's a sad part of it. Like, I mean, we got to get bodies here at some point. Like if guys don't want to come here, you have to trade. You're gonna have to pull off some big ass trade. Like he's gonna be like Ayuk or bust now. I don't know. I'm not even getting in on that yet.
And force the player.
Yeah, force the player to come here. That's what you're gonna have to do.
You had plenty of opportunities to do that through trade, and you let those guys, Cooper Kupp, let him go to free agency. Didn't acquire him for a late round pick. You didn't do any of that stuff.
Why would they give up a pick and pay pretty much the same market that he was getting? You know what I mean? That's the way they'll look
Because
at
he's
it.
not going to pick New England.
Because he went to Seattle.
Right.
That's why.
So they don't view it like that. Like he's not so important to us where we need to give up a high pick and then, still give him payment. It's one or the other.
I don't think they're ever going to find a perfect fit. At some point here, you're going to have to make.
I think you're going so far down the list now. Yeah. What are you bringing in next? Keenan Allen? Is he coming in town? And we're going to do Amari Cooper.
The thing that I go back to is Stefon Diggs came here. Stefon Diggs had a meeting in the building here. Spent time here last week.
I don't think the Diggs thing is dead, but I mean, if he's looking at this and he sees, hey, Cooks is off the board now, you're going to start, I don't say panicking, but this is where agents start to move and say, we got to get you somewhere. You don't want to sit out there too long.
No, I think it should be the other way around. I think the team should start panicking, thinking we're running out of guys.
Oh, we don't panic.
Yeah.
They don't panic here.
Well, that's good.
That's great.
I don't think Diggs is coming here. You're going to stay in contact with this guy, but what does that mean? That means that he's going to come back with an offer, and you're either going to match it, which if another team offers him a similar contract, is he going to wind up in New England?
I think they'd love to have him here, but I think ultimately when you look at it, 3 months of training with Drake, I think McDaniels if he's not there, what good does it do our offense?
I know what good it does. He's on the field come September when there are games being played, and he'll be more talented than any other player on the roster.
Yeah, I watched a couple of reels.
So that matters. I know the practice time ideally happens between two players and they're getting on the same page.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that if he's there in September, that's a really better situation than what you've got currently.
I watched some video reels of him against New England. He just made J.C. Jackson look silly. Turn him around like wide ass open.
And that's no
Split
chump.
coverage. No, J.C. could cover back in the day. When Diggs first got to Buffalo, Jackson was playing at a high level. So
that's not who he is anymore, but still.
Right.
Still better than what they have. That should have set off some alarm bells. Wait, he's here. He's in the building. He was willing to take the flight and trip to New England
and
to
go out
visit,
to eat with you, yes.
and visit us?
Yeah.
Who else is willing to do that right now?
Doesn't feel like many.
Just the fact that they got the visit with him should have been the motivation to seal the deal.
Yeah.
No, Cooks is off the board. 2-13. 2-13. Bye-bye. It's gone. So the list of available guys is Diggs. It's Keenan Allen. It's Amari Cooper. Deontay Johnson. Tyler Lockett. And after that, you start taking a real dip. Nelson Aguilar. Tyler Boyd. DJ Chark. It's not a great list. Robert Woods, who's over it. It's not a great list. The number of guys available is thinning out at this position. And Diggs is, again, he was there. You got him in your building. That's half the battle. It's just getting the meeting, and he came to you.
Frustrating.
Who do you want now, Zo, out of them?
I don't think they're on that list. I mean, I want Diggs. I want a Diggs or Cook. I think that's like the boundary type receiver they're talking about. Even Vrabel said it. Like, we need to find a boundary guy. So if he's already telling you we know who the slot is, that means it's going to be like Douglas. So he's already had those discussions with Josh. Vrabel's telling you we're looking for that boundary type player, receiver. That's an outside guy. You have to trade for him because I don't think any of those guys are going to come here. Amari Cooper, 30 years old. Diggs is 31. Keenan Allen, 32. They going to go after a 32-year-old guy to match him up with a 22-year-old quarterback? Probably not.
I fear that they think Josh McDaniels can turn the young receivers into real players.
A lot of pressure.
That they think Jalen Polk and Javon Baker are going to be real players because Josh McDaniels is here. I think that is a dangerous thing to assume. Because if they weren't assuming that, I think they would be more aggressive in the receiver market. That's nice that they got the visit with Diggs. They had no appetite to pay him.
See, and I know Josh likes Bourne, and they think they're going to get a revival of the second part of his career with Bourne, and they're going to try and get Polk's head out of his ass. You're right. Right now, those are like your top two guys. Whether you like them or not, and you know what my feeling is on Polk. I said it too at the end of the year. It feels like N'Keal Harry was a better pick than him. That's saying something. But they're not going to cut a second rounder. No, they don't do that. Tyquan Thornton was here for 4 years. I think they view Polk as a better receiver than Tyquan Thornton. Tyquan Thornton can't run routes. My second year, I had to play with a guy, and his name was Irving Fryer. And I knew everything about Irving Fryer. We all knew about Irving Fryer, former number one pick. You knew the history with him. And all I heard was bad things about Irving, like in the press, commentary, whether it was on sports radio or something. And I couldn't believe his work ethic in the weight room and how much he worked on running routes. And I'm thinking, like, what do people not like about this guy? Like, this guy is a pro. So did he affect the young guys in our locker room? Were you able to elevate others? But, like, Irving was great. Never heard him swear. No, I got the good Irving, I guess, right? At the end of his career here with New England. And I know it was tumultuous in the early years with him. But, like, look what he did when he went on to have sort of a resurgence in his career with Miami, and it was Philly at the end, right? Like, he played at a high level with those guys. So he was doing something right. And if you do have this young receiver locker room like you have now, Diggs maybe could help that. And it's not by your mouth. It's about, what do you do inside? What do you do when you hit the weights? What do you do when you're running gassers out there? Is this guy busting his ass and is he pushing everybody? Because that's when everybody else has to keep up with him, right? Can't let that guy beat me. God, this guy's a workhorse. And then you get in the game, does he run great routes and get open? And the answer is yes.
Here's what Mike Reese wrote about him.
Yeah.
I know this is important to you.
Yeah, very much.
We love our guy, Mike Reese.
Mike's hot on it, man.
Mike Reese, in what he published yesterday, his Sunday notes, item number 1, Diggs intel. When the Patriots traded for veteran receiver Randy Moss in April of 2007, some wondered how he would fit into the team's culture. A banner headline across the Boston Globe's front page the next day read, "Controversial receiver Moss aboard." Moss was entering his 10th NFL season, And among the storylines that followed him to New England was a comment he made early in his career when he said, "I play when I want to play." Coupled with on-field frustrations that boiled over with the Raiders, the acquisition was viewed by some as risky. Turns out it was brilliant, writes Reese. And that story comes to mind, he writes, in the wake of the Patriots hosting free agent receiver Stefon Diggs. Well, well, well. He also put in his story that Diggs, according to league sources, have described Diggs as ahead of schedule, already running full speed and gaining increased comfort, cutting and changing
That's amazing to me.
direction.
So he got hurt at the end of October, Halloween.
October. Yeah.
This guy's running routes and jogging already.
Yep.
Again, it's a little guy.
I told you last week.
They're ahead of schedule on these. Yes.
Yeah.
I told you. He's ahead of it. He's looking good.
So why don't you pull the trigger on it? What are you waiting on?
Well, they got to get a good deal.
I mean, you what, $90 million under the cap still?
Well,
But it's not about the
we'll
cap.
call it like 80.
Whatever, 88?
Everything accounted for, like 60.
Whatever.
Whatever it is.
Say you're 50 under.
There's plenty of money left.
Say you're 50 under. Quarterback's on a rookie deal. Get this guy help. Please get him some help.
On a 1 or a 2 year deal, that's the part with this particular player that you just can't wrap your head around. You're thinking, all right, it's not a 4 or 5 year deal.
Do you think he
You're
wants
not-
a 1 or 2? Do you think New England wants to do a 2 and he only wants a 1?
Oh, I doubt they want to give him more guaranteed money because that's what it's going to take to
But
get
I mean,
a 2 year deal.
But the problem is too, like say he has a really good year and like he could bounce.
Okay, then let
Yeah.
him bounce.
Let him do it.
No problem. And then you're a year later and you try and do this again until you find more stability from somewhere. I don't know where that's going to be, but in the short term, you got to keep throwing short term, not ideal. This is not the way anyone wants to do it, but this is a position you're in. Throw short term fixes at the problem. What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Him walking away after 1 year, by the way, is a win-win, right?
Means he had a great
He
year.
gets a contract. He has a great year. You're a sexier location for that next receiver, and maybe that guy that does line up with Drake May's timeline is actually attracted to the situation versus right now when you can't actually have these meetings.
True. It's frustrating because you look at the way like a team like Houston where he was last. They got like 4 number ones. You know, you play in a division where you go up against everybody and they got 2 number ones. Down in Miami, they don't care. They sign people. It's frustrating because you look at a team like Pittsburgh, they got 2 really freaking good receivers and no quarterback right now. They don't even have a quarterback right now. Don't tell me Rudolph's a quarterback. He's there to be a backup. But, man, I'd love to have a 1. Love to have a big guy. I just don't feel like we're getting him. You're going to have to trade. You're going to have to draft a guy. And I wouldn't draft a guy right now.
I'm just old enough to remember when the team once gave Nelson Aguilar a 2-year, $26 million deal, which was a complete waste of money.
It was awful.
Right?
Yeah.
Complete waste of money. But going into it, you're like, Nelson Aguilar?
And there was so much excitement
Like,
in the building at that
oh.
time because that's when they switched the offense and they went to the West Coast. And this is when Matty P became OC. And the talk in the building was, oh, my God, Aguilar loves this off. He's so far ahead. He picked it up like that because he played in part of it in Philly and that.
So let's say they gave that same offer with more guarantees, I'm sure, to Stefon Diggs, 2 years and $26 million.
That even felt light
It feels light.
for that guy.
It feels light.
Right.
But let's call it 2 and 30. And it turns out to be a huge waste of money. What happens?
Nothing.
Nothing. Oh, okay. Well, they wasted money on that player. They
Waste
tried.
Waste money on Godchaw?
They tried. Did they waste money on Jonnu Smith?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
We don't
they,
even talk about it.
They did. They wasted money on him. Uh-huh. They definitely did. Did it matter?
No.
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 Are you hurting
Nope.
for it now? No.
No. Is it better that they tried to sign players?
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
They tried.
That's the whole, like, if you screw up, keep going at it.
And by the way, I don't mean try and then not get the player. I mean they actually went through with the signing,
landed the
and
player.
landed a player, and the player didn't work out. It's free agency. It's bound to happen. You're bound to.
Howie Roseman does it.
Adalys Thomas didn't work out for the Pats.
Nope.
The signing was not one that worked. But they've had many others that have.
Yep.
It's 50-50, man. It's free agency.
frustrating. It really is. Here we are. We're still talking about a receiver. How many days in a row do we talk about not getting the receiver?
Well, they haven't done it.
I know.
And they've been trying for 2 years. Yeah. Just get a deal done.
See, Reese loves the guy too.
Oh, he's not alone.
Nope.
Barth, we played for you.
Yep.
Reese is in on it. Also, Phil Perry, I know, is pretty high on the idea.
I think we all are because, like, you've watched this offense over the years and you understand, like, you need help outside. You do. Josh just can't save everybody.
Yeah. Perry thinks he fits the offense. Greg Bedard has talked about it. He thinks that he's a good fit for the Patriots offense under Josh McDaniels. And that's a McDaniels guy in Bedard.
Perry even defended him, I think, in the locker room.
He loves McDaniels.
He's not a problem in the locker room, meaning Diggs. That it was just in game where he would get on Josh a little bit.
What's Josh want? What's he want to do? Coach up the kids or go get Stefon Diggs?
I'd say B. I think he likes coaching up the kids. I think he thinks there's something there that he could get out of them, but you still need a real receiver. Yeah, it's nice to bring along some of them, but you need that one guy that could get open.
I've just seen the movie of an offensive coordinator coming in that we all think has a great resume, but an untalented roster, and then being surprised when they can't get results out of that untalented roster.
Are you referring to Bill O'Brien?
I am.
How dare you say those things about him on his pro day at BC today?
That's not a shot at Bill O'Brien, by the way. Any offensive coordinator, you got to have talent.
I'll see Billy O tomorrow.
Why?
Going on his coach's show with him.
He has a coach's show?
Yeah, a little podcast.
A podcast?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh. Well, look at you.
Yeah. I'll do it in his office.
He's in the bag for BC.
Maybe I'll get a couple sweatshirts out of it or something.
Really?
Maybe. Oh,
good for you.
Take me to a dining hall, get me something to eat.
You're gonna
get some food.
He's trying to make us a BC show.
Come in here with a sweatsuit?
Maybe. Eagles.
You gonna tell him not to yell at refs or anything like that during the season? Because I know that makes you so upset.
No, because
when coaches in college.
I'm pretty sure.
He wears everything on his sleeve, and he's not an a-hole.
Oh, got it.
Try to be somebody different and well thought out before I speak at the podium.
The way
he doesn't do anything.
When has he ever dramatized anything? When has he ever dramatized anything?
Ask Tom Brady. Ask Taekwon Underwood.
Yeah, I just love how you just refer to Dan Hurley. You just throw other guys' names out there, as if somehow they act like Dan Hurley. Tom Brady, Bill O'Brien. Who else are you going to name before the end of the day?
I'm just saying. Everyone else yells at refs, and it's like, I love the passion. Dan Hurley does it. He's the bad guy. Yeah.
You think he's Belichick, don't you?
He's won more recently than Bill has.
I've never seen Bill come undone the way Danny Hurley does on a regular basis.
Remember when he assaulted the ref after that missed field goal in Baltimore that one time?
He wasn't listening to him.
Those are isolated incidents.
Wasn't listening to him.
I mean, that was an isolated incident. End of game. That's like Danny Hurley 3 minutes in. We haven't even got to the under 16 yet, and he's assaulting the ref.
Capello texts in S-bag, bleep bag, Hurley.
Of course.
No one likes the guy. It's good to have a
villain.
He's a
winner.
Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.